Nas on the beat.
Yo, what's up?
Yo,
What's good?
man, what's the word on the street?
Yeah, what's the word on the street? The word on the street is that UConn might just go ahead and win the whole damn thing. That's
Man,
the word on the street.
it's crazy, right? Because I was thinking about it and I was like, man, I picked UConn men
Mhm.
and women to win the whole tournament.
You did?
Yeah,
I didn't know you did that.
yeah, I did. And then I looked at my brackets. I said, oh, shoot, I wasn't even thinking about that before I did it. I was just filling my brackets out based on who I thought would win. But I didn't know I picked both UConn men and women.
Wow, good for you.
So,
Okay, so then your brackets are very much alive.
they are very much
I
alive.
think everybody else's bracket's pretty much done. You guys, look, welcome back, you guys. Welcome back Monday after sports show with myself, Kaja, and my main man, Navi. How you doing? How was your weekend?
Man, busy, busy, busy.
Busy, busy.
Yeah, I got a lot going on right now. So,
That's a
but
good
it's
thing.
positive. Yeah, it's a positive thing,
It's good to be
staying productive.
productive.
Yes. It's just
We're gonna
grinding
get
and expanding.
that's what's up. We'll get right into it, y'all, because whoo, that was crazy. We're just gonna get right into it. UConn versus Duke. You guys, I was watching this game, right? And then I was texting you. I was like, well, if UConn got to figure something out, because Duke is on that ass right now. Like they're not getting nothing off right now. It was looking pretty grim. So much so I had a long Saturday. I fell asleep. I woke up to see a text message. I was like, oh man, what happened? I went to go look. I was like, what the heck? Like what? How I missed it? What's going on? You saw it live in real time. And I had to watch it back, which is not the same. But man, when I saw what happened, I was like, oh my God, why did you throw the ball? Just hold it. Just hold it. They gotta foul you. Like you win it by two. Don't do nothing. I was like, oh my God, why did you do that? I was, oh man. What did you think though watching the game?
Man, that was
The
a
second
great
half specifically.
it was a great game. In the first half when they were down, and I think you texted me, you said UConn got to do something
They gotta figure something.
expeditiously.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, they do. But the thing that I kept in the back of my head was UConn is a very resilient team. They
Mm-hmm.
play hard, they play all the way through. So, I just stayed watching the game, understanding that it's a Dan Hurley coach team.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a team that's not going to lay down. They're going to play, even if they get blowed out at the end, they're still going to play hard all the way through.
I love him as a
So,
coach.
as they start inching back,
Mm-hmm.
inching back, I was like, this game is getting interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Because at one point, they were inching back, they were getting closer, but they were 1 for 17 from the 3-point line.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, if they were hitting any threes, they'll be blowing Duke out. And I felt
Mm-hmm.
like UConn was the better team. So it just so happened the last 5 threes that they took in the game, they made 4 of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that ended up being the difference in the game. So, man, it was a great game. Of course, anytime you have a comeback like that
Mm-hmm.
and you finish that way, the other team usually has to make a mistake somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And unfortunately for Duke, they made the mistake within the last 10 seconds. So um I was happy it kept my bracket alive. ABD, anybody but Duke.
Yeah, I heard Shannon say that too on Nightcap. I was like, the hate for Duke is real.
Yes.
I will say, I know everyone's gonna focus on obviously, him trying to pass the ball, the deflection that led to the three, and so on and so forth. But they had a lead. No, they did. It wasn't like like the game was like back and forth the entirety of the game. They're like you had a lead. Like something shifted, some things changed. You allow UConn to come back in this game and take control. So I can't. I know we're all going to focus on that last play, but there were things that led up to it. Obviously, um, man, I know that. I know they're probably still sitting there like, how did we lose that game? Like for the next few weeks, few months lead up to the draft, it's gonna be like, damn, how do we lose that game? Like I would imagine that's gonna stick with you for like the rest of your life. Like no matter what happens, like you're probably gonna always think back, like, how did we lose that game? Like how is that possible? Like we were right there, we were right there, man. Oh man. Um, it seems to be like a trend I noticed. I forgot what game we're talking about. When homeboy needed three the whole entire game. Like the last second, he hits a three like at the freaking buzzer, and they win the game. What game was that we were talking about last week? I can't even remember it. It has been so much happening in March Madness. I've enjoyed it all though.
Yeah, I think March Madness has been great, and I think the teams that are in the Final Four are clearly the best teams.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so I'm looking forward to this next round. I mean, you got UConn, and I think they're playing UConn Illinois. I think that's a matchup that they can definitely win. And then you got Arizona, Michigan, which those two could be the best two teams in the tournament.
I'm going
So
Michigan.
yeah, I just want one of them to knock the other one out because then UConn just gotta UConn just gotta beat one great team. I think Illinois is a decent team, but I
Mm-hmm.
don't think Illinois had the same firepower as Michigan and Arizona do.
Mm-hmm.
Both those teams are pretty deep.
So you still going UConn to win the whole thing? You said right, no matter who the opponent is.
I mean, I'm around with UConn. I think Michigan and Arizona are the best two teams though, but
Mm-hmm.
UConn is resilient.
They are. They really, really are. Was that like the best game you saw this weekend? Your opinion?
The best game of the shoot, man, maybe the best game of the year
Really?
in any sport was Duke
Wow.
and UConn. I mean, the way it came down
Mm-hmm.
to get the turnover in the last 10 seconds,
Mm-hmm.
Caravan gets it. He really has no shot. And so
Mm-hmm.
he just passes off to Mullins. And Mullins has no choice but to let it go. I mean, he's in Steph Curry range. And it's nothing but bottoms with 0.3 seconds left. I was like, this is amazing because UConn hadn't had a lead the whole game
Mm-hmm.
until the very end of the game. I mean, for him to take that shot, which he had to take it,
Mm-hmm.
but still, he was ice cold. He had ice in his veins. I
All
mean,
net.
I was jumping around. Yeah, I felt like a 18, a 16,
Really?
17-year-old kid. So, yeah, it was great. I really enjoyed it.
Oh man. Um. Yeah, a lot of great games this weekend. Not just this one. This one was probably the most exciting, especially like the ending. For me, like the men's has been like there've been some really exciting games this March Madness. Honestly speaking, I'm like I wonder what's gonna happen next in the Final Four. I'm like what's gonna happen? I'm like it's gonna be something that takes place. It feels like like in the last I don't know second or two the way it's been trending. I want to ask you though, switching gears a little bit. Did you think that Dan Hurley getting the ref's face that he should have gotten teed up?
You know, some coaches can get away with certain things and some coaches can't.
Uh huh.
It could have went either way. I just think once a coach builds up kind of a rapport with the
Mhm.
referees, kind of when they know what he's about, they know,
Mhm.
maybe they can tell whether he's being cruel or whether he's
Mhm.
just excited.
Mhm.
And so they made a judgment and
It
they
was like face to
decided,
face. It was like nose to nose, though. I was
yeah,
like, oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah. They went nose to nose. I would have teed him up,
Say it
but
again.
I would have teed him up.
You would have in
Yes,
that
I would have teed
moment.
him up.
That's crazy.
Any moment, there's no moment that you could break the rules. I
Wow.
mean, just
Really,
like
the game is over.
a coach would hold his players accountable if they make an unnecessary foul in the last
Hmm.
minute of a game, in the last 30 seconds of the game. They'll hold that player accountable.
Hmm.
Well, coaches got to be held accountable too. There's certain things you can and you can't do. Now, I'm glad they didn't because it keeps my bracket, but just being objective, I can't let you get away with anything in the crunch time that I wouldn't let you get away with in the first 5 minutes of the game. So it is what it is. And as a coach, he has to be the quote unquote the adult in the room. He has
Hmm.
to understand what he can and can't do. Now, clearly he got away with it, so maybe he could do it.
I wouldn't advise him to do it again, though. Like, don't do that again. Could you imagine though, like they won by 1 point if you would have got the tech and they would have went to the free throw line and then lost because of that? That would have been even bigger storyline than what happened. Oh man, I'm glad. I'm glad that that the ref wasn't like, okay, tech. Like game is over. Like me personally, I wouldn't have called it in that moment, that situation. Understand emotions are super high right now. Everybody's like, oh my god, like so. I wouldn't have personally done it. I'm glad the ref didn't do it. But man, if he did, that would have been an even bigger storyline than what happened like the play before. Would have been crazy. Would have been crazy.
Yeah, yeah, it would have been, but man, this is March Madness,
Very much so.
and they call it March Madness for a reason.
Very much
So
so. So what would you want to say? Finish your sentence?
no, I would just say they call it March Madness for a reason. So I mean, it's this time. This is why we get amped up for tournament time. A lot of people might not watch any college basketball for the whole year, but when it comes to March Madness, they know they're gonna see something crazy. They're
Uh-huh.
gonna see something wild, and so you gotta tune in. And every round, I think every round there's been a game-winning shot.
Mm-hmm.
There's been something crazy happens, a
Yeah.
turnover at the last minute, a guy coming from nowhere. He hasn't scored the whole game, and he
The
has a
whole
game
game,
winning.
like just
Right,
nothing. The whole game,
right.
just
So
breaking the whole entire
yeah,
game. All of a sudden, bam! Here goes a three.
right. So I'm just, man, I'm excited for it, and I think next round in the women and the men. I know Texas women blew out their opponent today, but I think next round in both the men and the women's tournament, the Final Four, I think you're gonna
Mm-hmm.
see great basketball. I expect to
Yeah,
see 4 great games this week.
yeah. Right now, I'm on here with you. I have TCU and South Carolina on. Right now, TCU is winning, but it's still pretty early, first quarter. I fully expect South Carolina to win this game, but TCU ain't that far behind in terms of the amount of wins, so it can go either way now. Right now, TCU is kind of hot. But
TCU,
what you want to say?
I'm gonna ask you this because you follow a little bit more than me. Where did TCU come from?
I don't know, man. Their record is 32-5. They got Olivia Miles. I mean, she was supposed to come out last season, and go to the WNBA, but she decided to stay another season. She didn't have to though, So she's doing
Yeah,
her big one, having a good game. It's led by her. The girl is nice now. I'm looking at her right now, so I don't know. South Carolina is down by 4, which is not really a lot. Obviously, it's the first quarter, so still plenty of time left. But I wouldn't be surprised if TCU won now.
right, right.
They came out with some energy. Like they came out like they came out aggressive. Like we know that we want to beat South Carolina. We got to come out and put our foot put our foot down expeditiously. And they're doing just that. So we'll move on because me and you were texting about this. I saw Stephen A replied to what Cam said. I'm not gonna show it on here because I don't want my channel to get flagged or nothing. But Stephen A was talking, and he responded back to Cam about the whole no loyalty comment. I saw Ryan Clark, also commented on the pivot, and then Jason. Well, it's just been going on and on. The conversation just continues on and on and on. But what do you think, though, in terms of the no loyalty within the content creator space that Cam was speaking about?
You talking about RC?
We were saying in general, like there's no loyalty, like I guess he feels like there's no loyalty, like, this is my platform. I say what I want, do what I want. Doesn't matter if Stephen A
I
helped
don't
me out, so
understand.
to speak, like that doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
I
That's
don't
the way I took
understand. I don't even understand why, and this conversation was broached by a overly sensitive male and Ryan Clark. I can't stand Ryan Clark. I don't watch none of his stuff he do. I used to be a big Pippet fan, but
it.
Ryan Clark is sensitive. He's a race
Hmm.
baiter. He's a clown to me. I don't think Cam did anything out of bounds. I think Cam did exactly what I would want him to do as a viewer of his show. He had a very controversial guest on the show. I think he would have been remiss if he didn't ask Jason Whitlock what he asked him at the end.
Hmm.
Jason Whitlock spoke on it. Jason Whitlock spoke factually. He didn't make anything up.
He didn't speak
Um,
factually. None of what he said has been proven about Stephen A. Smith.
no, it don't have to be proven by. It's proven. It's public information. Like you,
It's not public
uh,
information. I look myself. There's nothing online that says Stephen A.
Stephen
was not
A.
left back in the
Even when
fourth
Stephen
grade.
A. got on in
No,
rebuttal,
that's online. That's online.
he didn't even say that the things that Jason Whitlock was a lie. He could have just came out and said everything Jason Whitlock was a lie. Here's my resume. Boom, boom,
This is
boom.
a long time ago. This is a long time ago
Even
when he
Stephen
addressed
A.
that.
got on there. He pretty much
He
confirmed
addressed
everything that
about 2
Jason
years
Whitlock
ago
said.
with these comments. These are not new comments. He addressed it 2
No,
years
I'm
ago when he
saying,
first responded.
but Stephen A. went on his platform and he rebutted what Jason Whitlock and in that rebuttal, all he did was call Jason Whitlock fat. He
No,
didn't.
this is the second rebuttal. The first one from 2 years ago, because Jason Block was saying the same thing about him for a long time. He's a fraud. He didn't get left back. He didn't grow up here. He didn't write his book. These are old comments that he's been saying. Stephen A. addressed that and spoke about it 2 years ago, and he didn't say anything about it again up until now.
I'm
So he
saying
didn't say
you
it
saw
again.
his. I'm saying,
And
but you
yeah,
saw Stephen A.'s last rebuttal.
yeah, I covered it. Yeah, I
He
saw both
pretty
of them.
much confirmed that
He
everything
didn't
Jason
confirm it
Whitlock
because
said
he
was
already
true.
spoke about it 2 years ago. He already said that it wasn't true. He already said it 2 years ago. If you watched it, it's up there.
He sat there and said, I cracked my knee. I didn't play no basketball. He pretty much confirmed everything Whitlock
No, Jason
said.
Whitlock said he never got a scholarship. Stephen A. said, I did get a scholarship, but I cracked my knee. So that was that. It was over. He been said that. He's always
Stephen A
said
didn't
that.
get no basketball scholarship.
He's always
He
said
got
that.
an academic scholarship, which is
He's
still
always
good. Ain't
he's
no
always
knocking
said
that.
that.
He
But when I look online, because I look myself to see if I can
right,
find information, it's not public.
right.
Nothing's public about whether or not he didn't get left back in the fourth grade because of his dyslexia.
Well, I
I
don't know
didn't see
nothing about
anything.
no fourth grade and
Jason Block was
dyslexia and
talking
all
about
that.
that. He spoke
I
about
don't know
that.
anything. I'm just talking about him
That's what he
claiming
spoke
he
about.
played for Big House games. You can go look at the roster. Stephen A. was never on the roster. Ever.
So,
Now I done looked that up. He's never been on a
Winston
roster.
Salem to something else. His college
At
information was something different.
Winston-Salem, he's never been on the basketball roster. So if you got a scholarship to go to Winston-Salem, I should be able to see Stephen A. on the basketball roster. He's never been on the basketball roster.
Well, if Homeboy said a long time ago that he cracked his kneecap or whatever,
Okay, so you were never on the roster.
You know what I mean? But he did.
And if you hurt yourself, they don't take your scholarship
is
away.
that he got a scholarship for, to Winston-Salem. He said
then
again
you
on his
should be on the roster.
He said it earlier again on his platform. He's like, I did get a scholarship there. He said it once again.
Yeah, he didn't get a basketball scholarship. He got an academic scholarship.
He said basketball verbatim.
Well, then he would have been on the roster because when you get hurt, they don't take you off the roster.
The truth of the matter is,
the truth of the matter is, Stephen A. is a fraud and a clown.
They say this is not true. They could come out and say that as well. They have.
But nobody never came out and said it wasn't true.
Exactly.
So then, if you're not denying it as the truth, as a lie, then
he denied it. I'm talking about the school themselves because they have all those records.
Yeah, you can look up Winston-Salem basketball roster from the 70s to 80s to 90s.
Him getting a scholarship.
Well, if you got a scholarship, you're gonna be on the roster.
He says that he's never changed his story as far as that goes. Jason Whitlock said he did not get one. So for me, you know what I mean?
Well, I believe Jason Whitlock on that.
40 years ago.
I personally believe Jason Whitlock on that. I'm not a fan of Stephen A. or Jason Whitlock, but when it just comes to that kind of thing, I believe Jason Whitlock on that.
I don't know nothing he got to say. For me, go ahead and show me the proof. That's where I stand. I'm tired of hearing the same shit over and over about him being
I'm tired of both of them going back and forth like little girls.
We finish about him not graduating in the fourth grade or whatever have you. Like, show me the proof or shut up.
Right.
Boston must tell me. I don't want to hear the same two arguments for the next 10 years. Because I'm just really wondering why you care so much. Like, okay, he didn't get left back. We heard you. Well, he didn't get a scholarship. Okay, we heard you. He didn't write his book. Okay, we heard you 3 years ago. What else? Like, tell something different now about Stephen A. Smith. Because to keep saying the same thing 4 days a week about what he didn't do 40 years ago, 20 years ago, I'm like, you mean to tell me that you spending that much time thinking about this man and what he didn't accomplish makes zero sense to me. Like, you got to have something else going on in your life, dude.
No, both of these guys are clowns, and both of these guys have done a great job to get you to talk about them on this show. I don't watch Jason Whitlock platform. I don't watch Stephen A platform. I don't
I
watch
watch this
RC
platform sometimes.
platform. I don't watch none of their platform none of the time because they're jokes.
I
I
watch some of
met
what he
Stephen
says.
A personally. I know that he's a
Mhm.
fraud. I know what he told me, and then what he turned
What, what,
around
what,
and
what,
did.
what did he tell you?
I met Stephen A. When I first met Stephen A. This was in the early 2000s. I was
Mm-hmm.
at the radio station. I was
Mm-hmm.
working as an intern. He came in. At
Mm-hmm.
this time, he had left ESPN because he was at ESPN before he left. He went
Mm-hmm.
to Fox.
Yeah.
He went to Fox because he wanted to talk politics and he wanted to kind of be his own man and talk about the things that he wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So I asked Stephen A. I said, and I also he came to Sam Mitchell's
You
wedding,
talking
which I
about
was
that?
at
Yeah.
Sam Mitchell's wedding.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't really speak to Stephen A. at Sam Mitchell's wedding. But
Mm-hmm.
anyway, so I asked him the first time I met him, I said, as a young guy in the business, can you
Mm-hmm.
give me some advice on, how to, come up in the game or whatnot?
Mm-hmm.
And he gave me some sound advice as far as he said, intern, get gain experience, network, blah, blah,
Mm-hmm.
blah, that type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
But I also I said, why did you leave ESPN? Because this was the time when I was really watching ESPN before I figured out, what was really going on. And Stephen A was one of the people that helped me figure it out. He said I left ESPN. He said they offered me a lot of money. He said I left ESPN because I can't have my own voice. He
Mm-hmm.
said when you at ESPN, you have to say what they want you to say. He said I
Mm-hmm.
got tired of talking about what they wanted me to say, and I wanted to talk about some of the things that I want to say. Well, next thing you know, he went to Fox. The ratings weren't that good when he was at Fox. I guess he got down on his luck.
Mm-hmm.
Next thing I know, he took the money, he ran back to ESPN, he started saying what they wanted him to say. To
Mm-hmm.
me, that's a guy who can't even stand on his own morals.
Mm-hmm.
I lost all respect for Stephen A. Smith at that point. And
Mm-hmm.
then going forward, you just hear some of the things he says. You see, you hear about some of the things he's done. I mean, he's I guess he's great at what he does. Don't get me wrong. His job is to entertain people who don't know what the hell going on. He let
Mm-hmm.
you know what the hell going on. But no, he's a clown. And then these the thing he did with Jalen Brown, which I understand. He had sources he can't get out, but he didn't even have to put that out what he put out about Jalen Brown. It was irrelevant. Only thing it did was hurt Jalen Brown. So no, I have no. I don't follow Stephen A. I don't watch his shows. I don't follow him on his platforms. No, when that whole Jason Whitlock thing came out, he had a clip on X. I watched the clip where he pretty much didn't deny anything Jason Whitlock said, but he just went back. He's fat bastard. Fat. I'm like, look at these two educated brothers going at it like little girls. Both of them should be ashamed of themselves for how they behave. They've been doing this for years. Like, let it go. You got your platform. He got his platform. Talk your sports or whatever you want to talk politics. You want to be a half Republican, half Democrat. Do your thing.
Mm-hmm.
Jason Whitlock, whatever you want to do, you want to have a Christian message and you want to hate people in the name of Jesus, do your thing. But I'm not paying attention to none of y'all, and I really don't want to give now one of y'all that energy because you don't deserve it. Only thing you're doing is polluting your own cause, your own people who actually sit there and take hours out their week to watch y'all fools.
Well, I see. I don't watch Jason Black's show all the time. There are some things that he said I will give. I'm like, okay, that's interesting perspective. You know what I mean? Some things, but not all. Stephen A. Smith. There's some things I agree with that he does, things I don't agree with. You know what I mean? But I like to hear even people I don't necessarily agree with. I like to. I try to be open minded to hear what everybody has to say, whether or not I agree. That's just no, that's just me. But as it pertains to Cam, I'm in the no loyalty part. I'm just like Cam. I don't care who you bring on your platform. But if it's like me and you know what I mean? We're not talking and you have a whole different show with somebody else, like, and you guys got an issue and you want to bring somebody on, whatever, that's cool. But don't bring me up in the conversation. Like, don't bring me in the conversation and then allow somebody who I don't mess with to just say whatever and you didn't ask any kind of question, you don't say nothing at all. You know what I mean? I mean, not zero at all. Because Jason, like I said, he's been saying this about Stephen A. Smith for so long. I'm just like, dude, how long are you going to keep telling us this? Like, at what point are you going to stop telling us that he didn't do the things that you say he did? We heard you the first 25 times you said it. It's like, just like what, 200 times you telling us that he didn't write his own book. We heard you. He didn't write it. Okay. He lied. He had a ghostwriter. Okay. It's still a bestseller. So what you want us to do with this information? I mean, I didn't personally buy the book, you know what I mean, personally, but people did buy it, so okay, you told him that he didn't write it. Now what? Now it's something new you're gonna reveal to us? Because you keep telling us the same thing over and over and over again. But for me, and this is just who I am. If you give me a platform, to come on ESPN or Fox or CBS Sports or whatever, I have my own platform here. But if you bring me on to a different platform and help me elevate, my own individual platform, I'm not going to be a part of that at all. Like, leave me out of that conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have to give my opinion on who I think is right or wrong. But
Right.
one thing I'm not going to do is I'm not going to like bite the hand that help feed me, so to speak. I'm not going to do it. To me, it feels dishonorable. So I'm not going to be part of that
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
I'll talk to you about our issues,
Right.
and we can settle our issues, but I'm not going to talk to you about somebody else who's not here to defend themselves. And if I am, I'm gonna at least ask you some questions. Okay, well, how you know he didn't get left back? You know what I mean? Like, where's his information at? How you know he didn't write his book? Who told you
Right.
that? I'm gonna ask you something if I'm gonna do it. Other than that, me and you, the conversation is here, and that's it.
Yeah. Well, Cam kind of was asking this question at the very end of the show. I think they were running out of time, but even with that, that's what makes Cam different. Cam is not like you. He's not like a lot of people. He gonna do what the hell Cam want to do. And that's
I
that's
think we all
that's
do.
what
I'm just
AP
talking about as it
that's what
pertains to being
ATL is
loyal to
about.
people, because
I would
I'm
have
still my own
I
person.
would have did what
I'm not
Cam
gonna
did.
do that for somebody who gave me
Yeah.
who gave me a platform. I'm not gonna do
Yeah,
that.
yeah, but Stephen A ain't really give Cam a platform.
He did as it pertains to First Take. Yes, he did.
Yeah, he allowed Cam on, but it's a mutual relationship. Cam is hot right now. Like Whitlock said, like Shannon was like anybody would say, Cam is the guy who's out of all the athletes who's in this space. Cam
Hmm.
is the one that's sending the fastest and has the potential to go the highest because of who he is and how he runs his thing. So Cam gonna do it his way, and I appreciate anybody that's gonna do it that way. They way. I don't care if you let you got Jason Whitlock on because of the beef that you and Jason had.
Then keep
Okay,
it
they
there.
they
Keep
they
me out of
they
it.
they cleared their conversation, they beef. But now I don't have no problem if you ask one clown about another clown. It's the same way as when we just had this presidential election. We had two clowns who were the forefront of the election, and they forced the American people to listen to both of them. It's like, who cares? I guess one of you got to win, but I don't care for now one of y'all. So it don't really matter to me. I like Cam. I watch his show here and there. I support his show, and I'm glad that as a person who wants to be entertained, I was okay. I was actually shocked that he even went there. I didn't think he had the cojones to go there, and the fact that he has the cojones to do it going forward is only going to make him even better because people know that Cam is going to deliver on the drama because
I think
controversy creates cash.
I think you got to be careful in this business. You know, Kim having his own platform is one thing, but when it comes to the networks, with the higher ups and the EPs and so on and so forth, like, you got to be careful. You know what I mean, about what you say and how you do things from that side of it. Now,
Right,
what you own that's separate, that you put your money into your production, like Shannon Sharp, got Club Shay Shay and
right,
Nightcap, that's separate. Stephen A, he can go ham and throw out money like a strip club, talking about
right,
Jason Whitlock on his platform. On ESPN, nah, you can't do that here, bro. But you can do that over there. Stephen A. Smith show, or maybe Sirius XM or whatever with Mad Dog or whatever. But in that space, 'cause even Jason Whitlock said plenty of times, like, when Cam was like, "Oh, how come they hired Matt Ryan and no one hired me, or how come I can't get into these spaces with these people?" And Jason Whitlock is always saying, "Well, look at how you dress, how you carry yourself, and so on and so forth." There might be some truth to it, behind closed doors. I don't know personally. I'm not talking to the executives and so on and so forth. But still, that to say, like, you got to be mindful of how you navigate, and how you treat relationships with people. Because if it's me and I'm in a certain situation, and I'm like, okay, I like Cam, he's hot, he's this, he's that. but I'm looking at how you move. I'm like, I'm looking at you a little bit like, I'm not really sure, and that's just me. Now, I'm not saying that he had to fight, Stephen A. Smith, like they got to go to blows or nothing. But for me, like I said, Stephen A. Smith, this he could have had no. Who else could he have on in terms of football? I mean, it's people that got platforms. I mean, everybody got a platform nowadays. I can't even keep up. You know what I mean? But for him to ask him to come on Monday and Friday to extend it, I'm just like, dude, like leave me out your conversation. Talk about what you
Man,
want to talk
Cam ain't
about,
got no loyalty for
but
Stephen
don't
A.
but don't put me in it. And for me,
Right.
I'm looking at you sideways a little bit, and I'm
Yeah.
just like, for me, and that's how I am in general.
Right. I
If
feel
I
you.
if I give you, a platform or I help you out with something, and you go about it like that, I know that you're not who I thought you were, and I'm just gonna keep you at a certain
Yeah.
distance.
They got Cam all messed up. He thought that he was who they thought he was. Cam is his own man. You could tell by how he dressed. You could tell by how
You
he
could be
talked. You
your
could tell
own
by how
person
he
and
walked.
still have
He
some
gonna
sense
do
of
what he want to
loyalty.
do on
I
his
don't take away from
platform,
that.
and
Don't take
and
away
and
from that.
him and Peggy, and I liked it. I'm glad he did it. So I mean, I guess it's different of opinions. I mean, some people ain't gonna like it. You can't please
I don't
everybody.
rock with
Some
anybody who's
people,
not loyal, anybody who
right?
doesn't have any
Some
kind of
people,
integrity.
some people. I
Anybody,
mean,
if you
look
agree
at
with
it
that,
that
I'm
way.
looking at you sideways, like, okay, I know
Yeah. I mean, I
I can
feel
only
you.
go
Like I
but so
said,
far.
you
You know what I
can't
mean?
you can't please
I don't into it.
everybody. Some people not gonna like it. They gonna think it's distasteful, it's disloyal, and some people gonna be like, "I love the entertainment. I'm glad that you had the cojones to do it." I mean, I don't think it's a wrong or a right way. I think it's about preference. I
And
prefer
then
he did it.
there's
You
a right way
prefer
to how
he
you do
didn't.
things in this world. Period. You know, in
I
any
mean, I think right
capacity.
and wrong is subjective. So I
It's not
think
what
from
you
your
say, but
side of
how
the
you say it. It's not
yeah,
what you
I
do,
don't
but how you do it
yeah, I
always.
don't think Cam was wrong. I just think some people didn't like it, and I understand. I really understand why the people that didn't like it. I really do understand why they didn't like it, and I'm fine with it. I'm not giving no pushback because somebody didn't like it. I just say for me personally, I
I,
liked it.
I don't like two facedness. I don't like the people who are like who dishonorable. I don't like. I don't care what capacity, what field you're in. I don't care if you're a regular person. I don't care if you got shitload of money. I don't care if you were middle class. I don't care. Like have some kind of integrity. Period across the board. I don't care what your field is or how much money you make in your account. I don't care about that.
You asking people to have integrity for and be loyal to people that don't have integrity. Like Stephen A. has no integrity. Jason Whitlaw has no integrity.
What
Like
he has, I'm looking at
RC
I'm looking
has
at what
absolutely
he
no
has done, what
integrity.
he has done
Like
for
these
Cam.
guys have no
I'm not going
integrity.
to let my personal feelings about people I don't know personally affect what I'm saying here. When it comes to having integrity, I'm big on that. When it comes to having
Right, me
character,
too.
I'm big on that. And I don't care what your tax bracket is. If you give me a platform and you look out for me, I'm not going to talk about you without you being there to defend yourself. Now, if you want to entertain the people, then get Jason
You could
Whitlock, get Stephen A. Smith, put them on your platform, let them go at it, let the ratings go through the freaking roof, and let us be entertained. But don't have somebody on the platform to discuss
you
me, and
you
I'm not
looking
going to
at it like
discuss
it's a
myself.
one-sided
Mm-mm.
relationship. Like
No.
Cam ain't doing that for Stephen A. No, it's a relationship. Both of them are helping each other. Stephen A. ain't just helping Cam.
First off, First Take had the same ratings before he got there. They've still been leading, for years now. So even without Cam, it was like
Yeah,
Cam
they
came
gonna leave
there
because
and he
Fox ain't putting
saved the
that out.
platform. That's not that he didn't do
they're
that.
gonna they're gonna leave, but just because, but they see what's going on. They see that the podcast space is growing big. So you want to get some of that energy. So who's scaling the mountain right now? It's Cam. You already got rid of Shannon. You tried to have Shannon. Shannon did what he did. You got rid of Shannon. Who else can you latch your name to? Okay, you go out there and get the next hottest thing. The next hottest thing is Cam Newton. So you go. So it ain't like you just I'm hipping. I'm throwing Cam. No,
In
Cam was
terms
doing
of the
fine all
network
by
side of
himself.
it, in terms of the network side of it, he did help him out. Nobody was calling Cam on the network before First Take at
Cam
ESPN.
could have went to
In
any
spite of
network.
him, then someone should have called him then, but they didn't.
He
So
didn't. No,
that's just a fact.
ESPN just offered him the most money.
No, they were not. He said it himself. He
Right.
couldn't get on the network. He's out of his own mouth. That sounded like Steven Smith got him on there. He said out of his own mouth. So I'm not saying I'm not talking on my ass. That's how he got. They weren't checking for him in terms of the network space, in terms of that specific space. They weren't.
Right.
Nasir said, but if that's the case, Stephen A. Smith should throw Skip Bayless a bone. What do you mean? Because Skip Bayless brought him on First Take. He's always said that. Him and Shannon always said that. He's always said like if it wasn't for Skip, helping him out, he
If
wouldn't have
Stephen
gotten
A
away
is so
either.
sensitive, if he that butt hurt
Listen,
about what Cam did, all he gotta do is ask Cam, bring me on the show, and then ask me a question about
he said
Jason
he will be on
Whitlock.
the show earlier. I
Yeah.
watched it. I watched
Okay,
what he
so
said.
Cam will do
He
that
said
for
he will.
him. Like it's no
He said he
problem
will.
if he gonna cry about it. You know what I'm saying?
This
Go
is
ahead.
I'm saying. I speak for myself. Stephen A. Smith
Right.
didn't find his platform.
No,
I'm
Stephen A.
speaking for
cried
myself.
on his platform because
He didn't cry about it.
he addressed Cam about it. He said,
He,
Cam,
he
if you
addressed
would
Cam. He addressed
right,
Ryan
right. He
Clark.
cried about
He
it.
spoke about the whole loyalty thing. He wasn't crying. I
Yeah.
can talk without crying.
I thought it was crying. It's man crying. From my perspective, he was man
You watched what he
crying.
said earlier?
Today, I
Yeah.
don't watch Stephen A. Smith.
So
I
then how you
told
say
you
he cried
that.
if you didn't watch it?
I saw the first rebuttal on his show when he
To
came
Jason
out and he
Whitlock.
no, he first it was about Jason Whitlock. He went off on Jason Whitlock, but before he went off on Jason Whitlock, he
Mm-hmm.
told Cam, he was like, Cam, brother, like, come on now, why you had I was like, come on, man, stop
I don't call
crying.
that. I don't call that crying.
I call that cry, I call that man crying.
I call it. I call it being real. Don't talk me behind my back. Don't
Yeah.
have anybody talk about me
He
behind
ain't
my
talk
back.
behind his back. It was public.
Without my
It was in
presence.
front of everybody to see.
I
Hundreds
wasn't.
of
I'm not
thousands.
there to speak up for myself.
Yeah, you can get on the
Don't do
platform
that.
and he
Don't
can
do it.
talk about Jason Whitlock on Cam platform if that's what he want to do.
Well, he said he'll be there. I don't know when they're
Right,
gonna do
right.
it.
I
This
mean, they
week,
so
next
they
week,
so small,
a
they so
month. You know what I
low.
mean?
They
Do it.
egos be so sensitive that I mean, go ahead and go on
And I'm
there
gonna give
and
Stephen
do
A.
the
Smith
same
more
thing.
credit because every single day there's at least a new clip of Jason Block talking about Stephen A. Smith, and he has stayed quiet for a very long time.
Not a
Me
very long
personally,
time.
I would have went to a lawyer a long time ago. Kayate, go
Ain't
shut
that
your
he
ass
can
up.
do. If he
Find
could,
something
he
else to do.
would. He can't go to a lawyer
He
because you
absolutely
gotta
can.
prove
He
that
absolutely
this
can.
man is lying.
He absolutely can. He absolutely can. He
If he was
absolutely can.
lying, if he was doing libel to his name, Stephen A. would have went to a lawyer. But you can't go to a lawyer
So
when the
we'll see
man
what
ain't
he does
lying.
because he said more than one time on his platform that it wasn't true. And
Okay,
for
then
me, like I said,
go sue him
so
then. Go
and I
sue
hope that he does.
right.
I
Go
said
sue him.
I would. If it was
And when
me a long
Stephen A.
time
sue
ago,
him,
I would have a long time
right.
ago. Shut the fuck up
When
and find
Stephen A.
somebody
sue
else
him,
to talk about.
when
Don't keep
Stephen
talking
A.
about me on
sue
your
him, and I
platform day
see
in and day out. That's some bitch shit right
right
there.
when I
Find
see
something else to talk
Stephen
about.
A. When I see on the screen Stephen A. gets a big settlement for Jason Whitlock for lying, then I
And I
believe
hope
Stephen A.
that he does.
Until
I hope
then,
that he
I
does.
believe Jason Whitlock.
I don't believe him. Show me some proof. I don't believe what you tell me. Show me
I
some
need
proof.
ain't now one of them showing you proof, but you pick and
You're
choose
the one
your
that's on the
side.
platform and you keep talking about him.
All
You're
Stephen
doing
A.
that.
gotta do
You're
is show the
doing
proof.
that.
Bring the
Jason
scholarship
Whitlock
letter
is
in.
doing that.
Look,
You're
bring the
doing that.
scholarship letter
Why do
in.
I have to go on my platform every single
You
day
don't
and
have
prove that
to.
you're lying to me?
That's my
No,
whole
no, no,
point.
no. Find something else to talk
That's my
about. And
whole point.
anybody who believes Jason Whitlock or who agrees with that kind of bitch assness, I'm really really confused about.
That's my whole point is this.
No grown man should be talking about another grown man 4 to 5
Right.
days a
That's
week.
been my
That
whole
is
point. They
craziness.
both
That's
been acting
crazy.
like little girls and
No,
clowns.
Jason Whitlock is the one that keeps talking about him,
Stephen
not
A.
vice
has
versa.
too.
No, he does not. No,
I've
he
seen
spoke
several.
about him 2 years ago. He does
No,
not
not 2 years
mention him on
ago,
his platform.
because the simple
No, he
fact,
does not.
one of the guys that I do watch from time to time is Marcellus Wiley. And
I watch him as well.
Marcellus Wiley, his whole platform is to talk about media beef. It seems like, and I've seen several times on Marcellus' platform where he brings it up and he's showing clips and he's showing clips of Stephen A. And Stephen A. always said the same thing about Jason Whitlock. This fat bastard, and he can't get no girls, and he can't do this, and I'm like, man, why don't both of these guys just shut up and do your job on your own platform? I'm tired of both of them. I'm not a fan of both of them. And just like you say, and you're right, that okay, Whitlock, show me the proof. Stephen A., show me the proof. Ain't now both of these guys are running their mouth and not showing nobody any proof. Because all Stephen A. got to do is come in with that scholarship letter and put it on the table, and boom, that'll shut everything up. Or all he has to do is send that lawsuit out to Jason Whitlock for liable.
I hope that he does for that one.
And do that. And go ahead. And matter of fact, when you sue him, you're gonna put Jason Whitlock out of business. He ain't gonna even have a platform no more. Go on and do that if you really want to shut people up, but you don't, because at the end of the day, this is what I believe. At the end of the day, I believe they both in it together for the ratings, for the numbers, because people like to see drama and controversy. We talking about it on this show. So they winning.
Sirius was winning regardless. Every time I turn around, that man got a whole different job. Whether or not you like him, he's here, he's there, interviewing here, he's on this podcast, that podcast, this network show, that network show. He's picking up checks left and right. So he don't need me to talk about him. That's for sure. Or Cam, truth be told. Jason Whitlock need more help than anybody else. His platform is smaller. It's a small list compared to everybody else.
Yeah, to them three, but he still has a pretty big platform.
He has a platform. I'm talking about in terms of numbers.
Yeah, as far as
when he talks about LeBron James, when he talks about Stephen A. Smith, especially Stephen A. Smith, when he talks about Cam or RC, that's when he has like his biggest numbers.
Yeah, because black folks like to see black folks talk about other black folks.
That's his whole platform. His whole platform talks about black people. That's all he talks about.
No, that's not true. That's not true.
That's the good majority. I'm subscribed to his channel. The same way he talks about white people, he does not when it comes to white people. He does not. He does not. And he does it under the whole guise of, I'm Christian.
Well, I will say this. I haven't.
Man, and
I don't watch Jason Whitlock.
What the Lord should say. And this, I'm like, dude, if you're a Christian really and truly, there's a lot of judgment on your channel.
Yeah, he's a Christian generally. He's a real Christian now. I give him that.
He's not a real Christian. No, he's not. He's not a real Christian.
See, that's the problem with Christianity. Like some are real, some are not, and they do this and they do that.
One thing you don't do is judge people.
Some Christians don't accept some Christians.
It's about judging people.
It's hilarious.
That's not Christian life.
It's hilarious to me. I just get a kick out of Christians fighting other Christians, but that's what Christians do. But I would say this: I don't watch Jason Whitlock because when I did back in the day follow Jason Whitlock, and I'll give him one thing. Jason Whitlock is a good journalist. He was always a good journalist. But I don't watch Jason Whitlock but when I did used to watch him back in the day, he's an equal opportunity trasher. Like my problem with Jason Whitlock is he never gives anybody any love. That was my problem with him. Like that's why I stopped fooling with Jason Whitlock, because I'm like, dude, why you trash everybody all the time? Like, I've seen him trash plenty of white guys. I mean, demolish them. But he never has anything good to say about anybody. And that's why I don't really fool with guys like that, because I'm like, dude, you got your own flaws. Like, look at you. You know what I'm saying? You like Stephen A. You got your own flaws. You talk about being a Christian and doing all this and all that, but you really give Christianity a bad name, but a lot of Christians give Christianity a bad name. So he's not the only one.
I mean, saying you're a Christian and actually being a Christian are two different things.
Yeah, I mean, I can't tell.
I mean, you can say,
because most people say they're Christians.
Whatever. That doesn't make it so. Now.
Right. I mean, most people in this country say they're Christians, and then they go and molest children. They rob stores. They murder people. They talk about people behind their back. They lie. They steal. They rob from the poor to give to the rich, all in the name of Jesus. So,
those are not Christians. Then.
I mean, I don't know any good Christians then.
Come on. I mean, that's common sense.
I'm not common sense to me, because most people say they Christians.
You're not a Christian. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and then they go to jail and they have their Bibles out. I'm like, this is hilarious to me.
Jason Whitlock is the 50 Cent of sports entertainment journalism.
Right. I would give him that. Like, I don't really fool with 50 like that. I mean, like, come on, like, bro, what are you doing? Like every time, like. You don't get along with nobody. Nobody can get any credit for doing anything positive. You don't got no good news about nobody. No good tweet. No good documentary. Like, come on, bro. I'm probably one of the few people who didn't even watch Power. I don't know what's going on Power. I don't know the characters on Power. I don't know anything that's going on Power, because I don't watch Power. But I'm glad that 50 Cent did well with Power when he got his money because he's a black man. I like to see black men do well, but
Mhm.
I'm not supporting it. You know, it's just I'm tired of seeing
I watched all the Power
I'm
shows.
tired of black producers always putting out the drug story, the gang story. Like, where's the doctor story? Where's the Good Samaritan story? Like, I
Well, he
like this.
also had For Life that came on ABC, which is about a
I
man
don't know.
who was wrongly convicted, who got out and was making a positive change, and changing his life, So that was a different thing for
That's a
him. But
prison story.
people didn't. It's not a prison story because he wasn't in
You
prison.
said he got. You said he
We
got
didn't
locked
see him
up.
in prison. We saw him coming out. That's where
Oh,
the story
okay. He
began.
was coming
Like
out
that
of
was the
prison.
pilot. Like so he was there, wrongly convicted. He gets out,
Right.
and he's there trying to, make amends for his life, and he's actually helping people who are wrongly convicted like himself get out of prison. That was more on the positive side. People didn't really watch that, so it got
Right.
canceled. Like we do have shows that are that depict us in a different light. That's not about the murder and drugs and sex and so on and so
Yeah, I
forth.
watched those
You don't
shows.
typically, as a majority, I'm not talking about a few people, majority, a lot of times those numbers are very low. So networks
Yeah.
tend to cancel those shows. I mean, it just canceled Watson, which is Morris Chestnut show. If you guys don't know, he Watson from Sherlock Holmes is the character based off, of that, his own spinoff. And pretty much, he's a scientist, a very, very intelligent doctor, who kind of deals with medical mysteries. In terms of pacing, that's the actress in me, y'all. It's not the most exciting show. I will say that it is slower paced. So I figured it was going to be canceled, and it was. I'm surprised we got 2 seasons. But I said to say, when we do have shows that are different, we don't tend to watch them. So they stay on for a season or two, and then they're canceled, and then we
Right.
go back to our drug stories, whatever.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. I'm tired of the drug story, that gang story. It's been the story of my whole life.
Nasir said, "Me and Jason Whitlock both like Jeff George. Well, I like him and believe if he had the right OC, he would have been a much better
No.
QB."
No, Jeff George.
No,
Jeff
I know
George
that.
was trash. We ran Jeff George out of Atlanta. I mean, we literally had billboards in the city, big
Mhm,
billboards when you get on the expressway, said, "Get this man out of town." And eventually, the general managers of the team acquiesced to the fans'
mhm,
demand, and they got Jeff George out of town. Jeff George was a very talented quarterback. I mean, he had a big arm.
mhm.
Um, got drafted really high by the Indianapolis Colts, if I'm not mistaken,
Okay.
and he just never panned out because even if you a 6'4" quarterback and can throw 80 yards down the field, you still have to be able to read defenses and throw accurate passes.
Mhm,
And Jeff George just couldn't do that on a consistent basis. And yeah, he was terrible.
mhm. Okay. Speaking of which, what's up, Nasir? Hope you had a good weekend. Got to say that when I saw you in here earlier. Moving on. I don't know if you saw it. I posted about this before I came on here. Did you see Jaden Ivey got waived by the Bulls? Did you see his
I didn't
video?
see that. I didn't
He
see
got
that.
he got. I don't want to play that because I'm looking like to another flag it or whatever. But in a nutshell, he posted this video reading Bible verses. He was talking about calling the NBA out, about the LGBTQIA community, about them proclaiming about Pride Month, but then when you speak out about it, they don't want this. It was a lot. I'm paraphrasing here,
Oh man, I
y'all.
gotta check it out.
Yeah. So they said, okay, bye bye. He's waived. He said that, and I quote, the old JJ is dead. I'm alive in Christ. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on with him. I don't know if it seems to be some sort of spiritual awakening for him. I don't know what sparked it, or if God's just doing something different in him, and he's moving out of the NBA toward maybe being a pastor, or I don't know, a deacon or something in the church. I don't know. But what I'm going to ask you though, why do you feel the NBA or sports in general seem to have a problem when people are very outspoken when it comes to their faith? Because it's like you can you can have Denver Nuggets wearing the pride uniforms and everything else, but if someone feels differently about it, it's like no, you
Mhm.
can't play basketball, you can't play football. Why do you think that is? Like, how come people can't just like have their own opinions or their own beliefs?
Because it's sports entertainment, and in sports entertainment, it religion and politics are divisive issues.
Mm-hmm.
And NBA, NFL, MLB, NHL, any other sports, they're trying to make money and they want to get everybody money. They
Mm-hmm.
want the straight community, they want the LGBTQ community, they want the Republicans money, they want the
Mm-hmm.
Democrats money, they want the Christians money, they want the Jewish money, they want the
They
Muslim
want all the
money,
money.
they want the atheist money, they want the agnostics money, they want the Green Party money. If you go both ways, they want your money too. They want everybody money. And when you start talking about certain things like he did, and I've seen other players too. Tim Tebow was one. And you
Oh,
start when you
he just
start
have an update, but go ahead. I'll say it after.
and you start having people saying, "Well, if he feels like this, I don't want to watch him play anymore," which means
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to watch the Bulls play anymore. Well, now you've alienated a whole chunk of change from
Mm-hmm.
the from that NBA pocket, and they want that chunk of change. They'll rather get rid of you, the one guy,
Mm-hmm.
and bring back the chunk of change. So that's why it's hard for players to really speak out and say things of that nature. I mean, Michael Jordan said it best long time ago when they asked Michael Jordan, "Why don't you speak out on issues?" He said, "Because Republicans buy shoes too." He got it early. I'm trying to get everybody money. I don't want to
I don't.
alienate.
I don't like
I
his
don't want
opinion.
to alienate nobody. But right now, today, the biggest selling brand is Jordan because he takes everybody money, and that's how it goes. Either you're a capitalist or you're not. Some people are humanitarians. I prefer to be a humanitarian, but some people are capitalists. And when you're a capitalist, you really damn near really don't have a soul. You'll do anything for that dollar. And so that's
Yeah,
just
I mean,
how it
depending
goes.
on the
I
individual.
I applaud that young man because usually, for a few people, many are I mean, many are chosen. I mean, many are called, but few are chosen. A lot of times when you're young, um, you get a calling or you get this message from a higher power, and
Mm-hmm.
it's so strong on you that you have to take that road,
Mm-hmm.
and you take that road, and with that road, it's hardship.
Yeah.
It's not easy. You got a lot of people going against you because you're going against the world, and when Jaden Ivey seems to be going against the world right now, which is fine, but I'm cool with it. I say you should always live for the Most High anyway. You should always live for God, and if the
Mm-hmm.
world don't like you for it, then so be it. Because at the end of the day, you don't need the world if you got God. So I'm on that side. I took the path he took.
I'm gonna play this real quick. He went on Instagram Live after he was waived by Chicago Bulls. And they said, I'm gonna just play it. So hopefully y'all can hear it. Can y'all hear it? You're supposed to be doing handoffs and ball screens, right? You're supposed to be doing these things to ball to each other, right? You're supposed to be doing handoffs and ball screens, right? We're supposed to be doing these things to ball to each other. So, in a nutshell, pretty much, he's saying that they said that his conduct has been detrimental to the team, and he said he hasn't even been with the team because he's been rehabbing. So he's saying, in other words, it's BS. It's obvious why he got waived. Like I mean, it wasn't about it was what he said. So um, man,
Well, the,
I just
the
go ahead.
interesting thing is going to be to see if he gets picked up by another team. If he doesn't get picked up
I don't
by
think
another
he
team,
can at this point, right? Because it's about almost time for playoffs.
you can always get picked up by another team. You just can't be on the playoff roster of a team that's in the playoffs. But you can
Oh,
always get picked up by another team. If if no other team picks him up, let's just say this season they say, you know what, Jay Ivy,
yeah,
go to the
season.
house, get 100%. We'll check
Mm-hmm,
on you next year. If
mm-hmm.
no other team picks him up, then you know he got blackballed by the league.
We're
It's
gonna
not the
see.
first time. Mark Jackson got blackballed by the league. People keep every time a coaching job comes up, they're like, Mark Jackson is the perfect guy. Mark Jackson is the perfect guy. He's never gonna coach again, people. I hate to be the harbinger of bad news, but
Mm-hmm.
he's out because of his religious beliefs. and when it comes to his stance on homosexuality, he'll never be a head coach again.
What
It's
drives me so
Kaepernick will
crazy
never play
like
football again.
it's like it's like you have to, if you feel differently about it, it's like like you can't. It's just like you're wrong. It's like be for me, be who you want to be. You know what I mean? Like you want to live your life a certain way. That's your choice. It's not for me to tell you how to live your life personally. Whether I agree with it or not, it's not for. I'm not the one you got to answer to. I'm not the one that's going to be judging you in the end. That's a whole other conversation. But I'm just like, why is it? It feels like you have to be forced almost. Like you cannot think on your own. Like you have. If you don't think like this, then you can't play. I'm like, that's like so. Ugh.
Well,
It's just it's crazy sometimes. It really drives me crazy.
I will say this.
This year it's like Christopher Jackson too.
Yeah, Chris Jackson, Mahmoud Abdul Rauf. He changed his name once he went Muslim to Mahmoud Abdul Rauf.
Oh, hold on, let
He
me play it real quick. Hold on, hold your thought real quick. Play.
The world can proclaim LGBTQ. They proclaim Pride Month and the NBA. They proclaim it. They show it to the world. They say, come join us for Pride Month to celebrate unrighteousness. They proclaim it. They proclaim it on the billboards. They proclaim it in the streets. Unrighteousness. So how is it that one can't speak righteousness? How is it one that how are they to say that you man, this man, the piss is not gonna matter on judgment day? The piss is not gonna matter on judgment day? The piss is not gonna matter on judgment day?
There's a whole lot more that came from y'all. It's just a clip.
yeah.
What are your thoughts?
Well, I will say this to Jaden Ivey that you have to be a professional.
Mm-hmm.
And this is the thing, even me myself running my business, I go in these clients' home. When I go in my client's home, I don't speak about politics or religion unless that's something they bring up and they want to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
And then even then I'm listening more than I'm
You
speaking.
talking here.
But my job as a professional is to get in, get the work done, get my money and go home.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how these athletes have to look at it. You got to get in, do your work, get your money, and go home and have all your opinions you want at home. The NBA, the NFL, your job is not a place to go and share your opinions
Well,
because
he was in
it
his car, technically.
yeah, yeah. I
He was in his
mean,
car driving by
right,
himself,
right,
no uniform.
right. At the end of the day, there are two types of truths. There are
Mm-hmm.
objective truths. There are universal truths and objective truth. Objective truths are mostly personal truths. Nobody cares about your personal truth.
Mm-hmm.
The only truth we care about is the truth that we all accept as true. The sky is blue, the sun is hot, things of that nature.
Water's blue.
Right. The
Well, depending on where
facts, right. But all your personal truth, that stuff that nobody cares about, at the end of the day. And it's better to just let those things be, be a professional. Social media is gonna mess up a lot of people. And it has messed up a lot of people. A lot of people have lost their jobs behind
Mm-hmm.
something they put on social media while they were away from work. But people at work saw it
Mm-hmm.
and they
True, yeah,
reported it
that's
to
true.
a higher up, a HR or somebody, and they said, you know what, we got to get rid of this person.
Mm-hmm.
So, the best thing to do is, unless if you're calling this to speak out on these things, then go speak on them. But you
It seems
understand
like he is
you
being
got,
called
yeah, then
now.
you
Yeah.
got to leave the game alone because the game is not going to sell. You got that, like I say, you can only serve one master. So you got to pick which master you're gonna serve and be and be able to live with your decision that you make.
Mm-hmm. I know. What's his name? He used to be head coach, but he got fired. Adrian Griffin.
Adrian Griffin, yeah, he
I know
got
his
fired. He
son.
was doing a great job.
I believe his son also stepped away from the NBA to I think become a pastor or something. I know he moved in line in that direction. I think he became a pastor um, after deciding to retire early. So maybe look, God works in mysterious ways. I wholeheartedly believe in that. Maybe there's something else that God has for Jaden Ivey to do in this next stage of his life. He seems to be okay with it though. I mean, listening to him talk, like he doesn't seem to be like, upset about anything. He's like, like he said it's bigger than basketball. You know what I mean? So he seems to be okay, with what he's being called to do. So kudos to him. I hope it works out for him. And at the end of the day, he's happy. Whatever decision you make in this life, you gotta live with yourself, live with your decision.
Right, right.
So hopefully, he's okay. He seems to be okay with it. So I'm okay with it if he's okay.
Me too.
And then Tiger Woods. What's going on with Tiger Woods?
Man.
When I first heard, I was like, Tiger Woods in the car accident again. I was like, oh my God, I hope he's okay because the last one he had was really serious. I mean, he didn't really
Yeah.
the same way. But then I saw him, I was like, wait, Tiger, you caused it? And then I was even more baffled because I was like, wait, they said that he blew 0.00.
Yeah.
So then why are you asking that man to urinate? Like, leave him alone at that point.
That don't mean he wasn't on drugs.
Like you thought it was, alcohol, and that wasn't the
Right.
case. And then I don't know. I'm like, are you looking for him to be on something, or did you really
Yeah.
feel like he was on something? Which one is it?
I
But
mean,
anyway,
if you
what are
saw
your
that
thoughts?
mug shot, if you saw that mug shot,
I saw it. I definitely saw it. Yeah.
yeah. Unless that mug shot was doctored by AI, which it could have been, if that mug shot was the real mug shot, he was on some,
It could have also been, sometimes, bad angles, bad lighting make you look a little bit, long night, being
Yeah.
tired or whatever, stress can make you look a
Yeah.
lot worse in a picture than what you really do. But it reminds me of Dylan Brooks in a sense, you know what I mean? Like, a few weeks ago, if y'all saw it, we didn't talk about it on here. I forgot to. We did one of the shows, but Dylan Brooks was pulled over because DUI, whatever,
Right.
and then his breathalyzer also was super low. And then you went from saying that you thought he was intoxicated under the influence, and then you're like, oh, well, we're switching it to this. It's like, well, we got a quota to fill right now. Like, what are we doing? Either you're under the influence or you're not, And he didn't look the same way Tiger Woods looked in his
Right.
defense. I'm just saying, like what's going on? Like, I was watching Speak Easy last night, and they were talking about Tiger Woods' history with alcohol. I know his dad died. They were super, super close. Life has not been the same after that second car accident. Like, it's been an uphill battle for him trying to get back into golf. Some of the times he can't like really stand and compete the way he used to. You know, Maybe he's really going through something. And somebody to reach out to him and pray for him and help him out. You know
Man,
what I mean?
Tiger Woods is
I
on
don't know what's going
drugs.
on. I don't know what's going on.
Tiger Woods on drugs. That's what's going on with him.
But typically when you are, there's a reason why.
Well,
Typically when you
the
try to
reason.
self-medicate, numb something. Something's
Yeah,
going on.
well, the reason why is Tiger Woods, if you follow the timeline of Tiger Woods since he ran to that fire hydrant, which Dick Gregory once told me what really happened in that situation. And I believe Dick Gregory because I didn't see no reason why for him to lie, and it all makes sense. But ever since that fire hydrant incident, then he was training with the Navy SEALs. He tore his ACL, got into the car accident when he hurt his leg, shattered his leg real bad.
Yeah.
He tore his MCL. I mean, he's been getting injured. He's been on a lot of painkillers. And sometimes when you're on that many amount of meds, sometimes you get addicted to it.
Yeah,
I remember one time I hurt my ankle doing some work, hurt my ankle real bad. Went to the hospital. They gave me some painkillers. I took one painkiller. Man, it felt great. I was telling people, I was like, man, this feels great. I feel really good. And the next day I threw them away because I was like, I don't want to take any more of these because they make me feel too good. I don't want to get addicted to these painkillers. I see why a lot of athletes in the past, definitely going from the Brett Favre's to a plethora of athletes, they get on these painkillers and they get addicted to them. They get hooked to them. And I think that's what happened to Tiger Woods. I think he's gotten addicted to painkillers, and he can't go without them, and they're impairing his judgment, especially when he driving. If I had been in the amount of car accidents Tiger Woods, the incidents he's been in the last 10 years, like come on, bro, he shouldn't even be able to drive at this point. And I know he can hire a driver, but he's not going to hire a driver because Tiger Woods got some other stuff going on that he don't want nobody to know about. You know what I'm saying? So I wish Tiger Woods the best. You know, I hope he can fix whatever he got going on with him that's causing him to crash every time he get in the car. But you know, maybe he need to get one of them self-driving Teslas. You know, I don't know what he did. Maybe they got cameras in there. He don't want to risk that. I don't know what he need to do. But bruh, stay safe, man, because the next time we hear about Tiger Woods in the car accident, we might be hearing about, you know, it being fatal. Now, I don't want that to happen to Tiger Woods. You know, he's one of the greats, you know, when it comes to athletic competition in this country. And the way he did in golf, the way he dominated, I mean, he's the greatest ever. So, you know, I don't want anything to happen to Tiger, but Tiger he gotta straighten his act up, man. Something going wrong with Tiger.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I know I saw a lot of comments on social media laughing at that mugshot. I'm just like, I'm gonna say a prayer for him, because uh, you know, there has to be something said for like being like up here at one point, on top of the world, and then having different things happen, injuries and all these different things kind of set you back. He's been playing golf for so long, like
Right.
so long, like way back as a kid.
Oh
I
yeah.
imagine, it's hard, trying to find a new identity. Especially when you can't or you're not able to walk away in your own terms. I think it's easier for you to kind of be okay when like, okay, like I can walk away, I'm good, I'm tired of it now, I don't want to play football no more, I'm not motivated to work out. But kind of like when it's taken from you in a sense because of injuries or different things that have happened, I think it's a little bit harder um to deal with, it seems. Just thinking about Tiger Woods and other players who, sometimes, things go really bad for them when it doesn't work out the way they wanted it to. Yeah, I'm just gonna say prayer for him. I
Yeah.
also want to actually brought something up, and he was like, I think we need to start holding um stars, people with money, however you want to word it, to the same standards as everybody else. Like they should be arrested, charged, or whatever, like anybody else would, because you keep doing this. God forbid if you would have
Right.
hurt someone, could have hurt yourself. Like this is not a joke, and you've done this before a few times now. Like you're not learning the lesson. What do you think about that though? Should Tiger Woods, maybe spend some time behind bars to get his act together?
Well, Tiger got arrested. That's why
Yeah,
we got the mugshot.
but clearly he's not
But
going to be in there for a while.
also, when you got $1 billion, you got good lawyers, and your lawyer's job is to make sure that the police officers and the state they follow the rule book, and according to not only just his lawyer, but according to the state, Tiger didn't. They followed the rule book. You know, he wasn't obligated to take a piss test. You know, you don't have to do that. He did the breathalyzer. He went and sat down for 8 hours till he was okay to go back out, and then they had to release him. So that's just the a fortunate part about having the capital to have a high paid lawyer who's going to be able to get you out of a lot of situations. If he didn't have that capital, then he might be in jail wrongly. Because sometimes if you don't know the law, they can treat you in the kind of way they want to treat you, and not knowing because you're ignorant into what rights you really did have. So Tiger Woods don't have to. He's not in that situation. I don't feel bad for Tiger Woods. I don't feel bad for these athletes that don't get to retire on their terms. Look, these athletes are playing children's games. They're playing children's games for millions and millions of dollars and a lot of fame. When it's time for you to stop playing, whether the league don't want you to no more, whether your body fails you, or whether anything that happened that caused you not to be able to play this game no more, you've made generational wealth for your families going forward. Yeah. And well, a lot of times the athlete that
Some don't make
we
as much as others.
yeah, the athlete that we don't hear about, the role players, the journeymen, we don't really hear too much about them. We hear about the stars because the stars are the one that sell the news. The stars are the ones we're interested about, want to read about, want to hear them talk about. So they bring up these stars like Tiger Woods, and some of these other guys. Look, you made a lot of money. You're better off than 98% of the people in America, maybe even 98% of the people in the world. If you can't make do with what you got because you can't play a child's game anymore, then that's on you. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. You find something else that you love to do. You got the money to start your own businesses. You got the money to get into whatever you want to get into. If you want to just hang around your children all day and raise your children, raise your grandchildren, and help them, grow and get into what they want to do, you can do whatever you want to do. You got the best lawyers in the world. You got the best doctors in the world. You got the best therapists in the world. You got the best food in the world. You got the best women in the world. Like I don't understand like what you're not happy about. But maybe not the best women, but they get their pick of the litter.
I get you with that. I feel like for some reason when I say we, I mean, you know, fans, people watching the game, or whatever, fans of the game, however you want to word it. We look at these athletes like they're not people. Almost, it's like we always talk about how much money they make, and you know, what they've been blessed and fortunate enough to do. And like, okay, well, you made over 200 million. You should be happy. Like it's not that simple. I think if it was that simple, there wouldn't be things that have happened for people who have, you know, been blessed enough to be a part of the 1% in this world. I don't know Tiger Woods. I follow golf a little bit because I bet on my FanDuel. Those some good bet, y'all. I'm just saying, okay. Scotty Scheffler, one of those ones. But nevertheless, I said that out for y'all. I didn't follow Tiger growing up or know all of uh his golfing days. Like I don't, I'm not familiar with all of his accolades. I just know he obviously what happened with his wife, ex-wife now, and what's happened with him as of late, and obviously he's like up there, in terms of when you think about people who from you think of those who are the epitome of a sport when it comes to golf, you think about Tiger Woods. I know that
Right.
much, right? But I will say, it's honestly speaking, I feel like he has not been the same for a while now, and it seems like it's been even worse since his dad died. I know him and his dad were very, very close. His dad was always there. And money or no money, like losing someone super close to you, a parent, a child, a spouse, like that hits hard for any one of us. It hit hard for me, and I'm not rich like that, but yes, he can hire a therapist to your point. He can have access to the best doctors in the world, but sometimes I don't necessarily make it okay. Um, and when all of your identity is wrapped up into something, whether it be basketball, being a mom for me at one point, just I kind of forgot who I was. So much time is focused on my son, being a mother, being the best mother I could be, being present day in and day out. Like your identity being all wrapped up in something from the time that you're 5. Tiger Woods is how old now? I mean, Tiger Woods is not young. Like that's pretty much what else do you know outside of that? And then now his son also plays golf, so you're spending your time like how your dad
Mm-hmm.
was with you.
Right.
You're spending more time, in that field, so it's when you want to finish something and you're not able to because you can't. I mean, there's a few uh golf matches that I've bet on for him. It's like Tiger Woods had to withdraw because this, that, and third. Tiger Woods can't do it because this. I'm like, dang, Tiger, you messing up my parlay, But physically, he's not able to do what he once did, So that self medicating is hitting hard right now. I don't want to just sweep it under the rug because he's a billionaire, multimillionaire, whatever it is. Because they still have problems like anybody else. They just have more money in their account, but they're still human beings. They're still people.
Yeah, we tell regular people get over it and do
I,
something
I
with
don't
your
tell
life.
anybody that. I don't
I'm just saying,
care.
I know you don't because you got
Yeah,
this good motherly heart. But I'm telling you how the world does. The world says get over it, figure it out. Definitely if you're a man, and definitely if you're a black man. Get over it, figure it out, you know. And so, um, yeah, I mean, Tiger, get over and go figure it out. I mean, I wish you the best. You know, it's not like you've had a hard life. Even though I hear what you're saying, Tiger Woods hasn't had a hard life. You know what I'm saying?
No, I'm not saying that he had. I'm
He's
talking
had
about
the
where
good
he is right
life.
now. That's all. I'm not
Even when
saying
he
that,
was a kid, he had the good life. Because
you know,
golf is very expensive, and
but
you don't
that's
play
something
golf.
else though. Yeah, I mean, but even most people, I'm not gonna say all, but a lot of people who are used to who grew up a certain way, not
Hmm.
have any adversity, used to
Right.
everything being good, nannies, nice cars, and world trips all across the globe and whatnot at a young age. You got all kind of stamps in your passport. When you face adversity, sometimes they don't know what to do. Because they haven't dealt with it before. It's like, wait, what the hell is this? Like, what do you mean? Like, I can't do what I want to do. What do you mean I can't go here? I can't do this. Or God forbid if they lose some money now, if they go bankrupt, like they go even crazier when it comes to that, and I have no money. What do you mean no money? Like so. I don't know if that's how he's feeling. I'm just saying, to that point that you were talking about how he grew up. Sometimes, you know, growing up one way, you know, I'm glad I grew up the way I did because I know what it's like to not have money, what it'd be like to have money, and I could be okay either way. But if I grew up a certain way and I didn't know what it was like to be on the opposite side of it, I might be like, damn, like what the hell is this, man? Like, what am I gonna do? You know?
Yeah, I feel you. You know, but hey,
But I don't want to sweep anybody's problems under the rug, especially anybody's mental or emotional struggles, because that's real for anybody.
yeah. Once he
Um,
get off the drugs, he'll be all right.
well, I mean, it's the reason why he's on it. If he's on it for a reason, he's trying to self medicate, trying to suppress something.
Addiction,
So hopefully he gets whatever he's trying to cope with. Hopefully, he will get the help that he needs,
right,
to be able to get off of it, and then get back healthy for himself, number one, and then for I believe he has two kids, a son and a daughter.
right.
And be around for them and next generation and so on and so forth.
Who do you go see when you have an addiction to drugs?
Go to rehab center, a
Right, that's what he need.
therapist,
That's what he
a
need to go then.
pastor.
But it starts with him admitting that
Yeah, I'll
I
say you
have an
gotta admit
addiction
it.
with
Yeah,
drugs.
you gotta
If
admit
you
it, and
never admit that
yeah.
you have an addiction with drugs, then you're not
Hmm.
gonna go seek the help you that you need. So for Tiger Woods, he needs to go ahead and look himself in the mirror, understand he has a problem,
Yeah, I agree with
and
that.
then he needs to go and address that problem.
Yeah, I hope that he does what I'm saying. I hope that he
Right,
does go get the help that he needs. I hope that he does
right. Me too.
intervention. His kids, somebody's like, look, Dad, we need you to
Because I'm
go.
tired of seeing him rolling
You know,
cars.
you try to who?
These are fine cars that he keep rolling over.
That car actually pretty good to me though for it to
Yeah,
roll over. I'm
you know
like,
what I'm
this car.
saying? He keeps
I'm like,
rolling
who did
over
that
nice
car?
cars.
The car
He's
looked
not rolling
great.
right. He's not rolling over pluckers. He's rolling over expensive cars. I'm like, Tiger, why you keep messing up these cars, bro? Like, stop, man. These are nice cars you messing up.
Look, that car I saw on the side, I was like, man, was it even an accident? It looked pretty nice to me. I mean, I couldn't
Right.
see the whole side, but I was like, man, who did work on that car? They need to shoot. They need to go ahead and like put the information up online. Huh? They know what the hell they doing. It looked pretty good to me. Oh my goodness.
I just not serious. He says, "What about boxing or MMA? Those aren't games for kids. They are.
Oh,
They are games for kids. They combat sports. Kids start taking karate at 5 years old, and there's a reason why. If a guy is 24 years old and he find a guy who's 45, you put your money on a 24-year-old because it's not for the old folk. It's for the young guys. All sports are young men sports. You know, you start playing as a child. Floyd Mayweather started developing as a boxer as a child.
you think he's going broke? Is that why he's going back? You think he lost his money? Think he's broke?
I don't know. He going broke. People say he going broke. His broke is more money than I got. So yeah, broker like West broke. Like it's his
That's
broke.
what everybody's like. Oh, he's coming back. He's on retirement. He must
If
be broke.
he's
I was
down to
like,
his last 30 million, he's broke. But if I had just 30 million, I'm good. So it's hard for me to be like, yeah, Floyd Mayweather broke. He need the money. I don't know. Maybe he's down on some finances. Maybe he needs some bread to get back where he wants to be. Maybe he just been away and he see that these guys ain't really no good, and he has a love for the game and he figures he can still compete. I personally wish he wouldn't have came back because he's been off a long time and he is getting up there in age. But if that's what he want to do, that's what he want to do. But I don't know his finances. I don't know if he broke. I don't know what assets he has remaining, what money he owes to who. I don't know, but I have to believe that Floyd Mayweather has a lot more money than I got. So I don't know what broke is. Somebody gotta just tell me what qualifies a person to be broke.
Well, I mean, he's not gonna be in the same place as you and I. You know what I mean? I don't think. But maybe broke for him is, I don't know. Going from what having 200 plus million to maybe 75 plus million. I don't know.
Right.
I don't
Maybe.
know. I'm just throwing random numbers out there, y'all. I really don't know. But I know everybody was
Yeah.
saying that. I don't know where it came from, like who started it. It just grew legs. It was all over the place.
Right. I mean, I just
Floyd's going broke because every time you saw
right.
him, he's always like counting his money in the
Right.
backpack. Sitting out counting. I saw Moneybag Yo a day ago counting a whole bunch of stuff. I'm like, oh my god. I was like, dude, how much is
Yes.
that on that table? But yeah, so
I
I
don't
don't
know.
know.
I think for me, I personally I only consider like a person broke like myself. If I'm mentally or spiritually broken, then I'm broke. Ain't no amount of money. I don't tie my mental health and my spiritual health to how much money I got. But
Mhm,
if you tie your spiritual health and your mental health to how much money you got,
mhm.
then you bound to go broke and it's gonna be real bad for you. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know. Maybe money Mayweather ties his spiritual
Money
and his
Mayweather.
mental to his money. And then that means no matter what it is, if it's getting low, then his spirit is getting low and his mental is getting low and
Mhm.
that's just a sad place to be. You know, I really don't have any sympathy for people who tie their spiritual and their mental health to a bank account.
Well, I don't know if he did all that, but
I hope he didn't. I hope he's stronger than that.
we're gonna see what happens in this next chapter in his career.
Yeah,
Hope
yeah,
it will be a lucrative one. I know that much. Whether
yeah.
he's
I
winning or
just hope he
losing,
can win.
he gonna make a lot of money. That's for damn sure. Because he's not coming out of retirement for no pennies. I know that much.
No, no, he gonna get that bag now. He's still a
Now
big bro.
when we be looking at him like, man, you should have just stayed retired. Like, what's going
Man,
on,
I hope
Floyd?
that.
It's look a little different, But still,
I don't want to see him lose.
we gonna see now. We gonna see, that's for sure. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for tuning in to this week's what I pressed about that episode. Any closing words from you?
Oh man, just make sure you follow the platform, Just Simply Sports for Kaja, One Man Cave. Also, check out my IG post and my TikTok at One Man Cave. This weekend, will I be playing country's kickball or will I not? In Atlanta, 404 is that's the Atlanta Day 404 because the area code to a lot of phone numbers, at least back in even now, is 404. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the phone numbers down here start with 404. So April 4th is known as Atlanta Day, 404 Day.
Atlanta Day.
So, a lot of people will be celebrating different things, a lot of festivals. I hope everybody stays safe. I'm gonna possibly participate in conscious kickball with the conscious community. A lot of people are going to be out there from the conscious community. You can see some of these people on IG. Um, and so, it's going to be interesting. It should be fun. Then there's an after party that night, but the day before there's a big mansion party and a dinner. So it should be a pretty good weekend. And I look forward to it. There are tickets for the conscious kickball if you are in Atlanta. Come purchase your tickets. We're gonna be at East Lake Park, 11 a.m. on Saturday. So, if you can come join, holler at me if you're there. And yeah, I look forward to uh, uh, a busy and productive weekend once again.
All right, now so you have some stories, and we come back next Monday. Okay.
Yeah, and my daughter, she got a big recital Thursday, so
Dance recital. What kind of
I
recital?
look forward to that. She plays an instrument. She plays the clarinet, so
Oh, cool.
yeah, she's nervous about it, but I think she's gonna do great.
Oh, that's exciting. We wish her the absolute best here from Just Simply Sports. Come back with some pictures and videos to show us if she's
I,
okay with it.
yeah, I don't do that. I don't take
You don't record
photos.
anything? What do you
No,
do?
I don't do it for. I don't put my daughter on social media.
Oh, okay. I'm about to say you don't record nothing. Okay, I'm about to say what's
I
going
all this
on there.
personal and family stuff. I don't.
Gotcha. Gotcha. No problem. All right. Well, I hope it's a wonderful recital. I hope that you have a wonderful time at the Conscious Kickball weekend festivities and so on and so forth. Be safe and be blessed, y'all. Nasir, my guy, as always, I appreciate your support. I'm looking at this game right now, Nasir. I don't know. I don't know, Nasir. It's looking like South Carolina. TCU ain't going away now. They ain't going away. We gonna
Oh,
see.
what's the score?
41-49. About 10 minutes left.
Pull up.
South Carolina.
Oh, okay, okay.
49.
Come on, Don Staley. We need you to pull this one out. Pause.
So we're gonna see what happens. We haven't really had too many crazy upsets thus far in women's basketball, in my opinion. So we're gonna see. LSU was
We
not a
haven't.
surprise.
We haven't.
I knew they were gonna lose.
I mean, I don't. Yeah, we haven't because no, there hasn't really been any upsets.
I think UConn, undefeated. That would be a huge upset if they actually lost before, like the final, like championship, like last two standing. If they lost in the final four, that would be a big upset.
Yeah, but
South Carolina
UCLA
loses
is a
tonight,
UCLA is a formidable opponent. I think they only lost one game this year. So
What it was two.
two, maybe okay, maybe two,
Might be
one or
right. I
two.
don't
Yeah. So I mean, it's not like they UConn are miles ahead of UCLA. UCLA got three girls who might get drafted in the first round of the WNBA draft. I mean, they're stacked.
know.
So
Yeah, I like
we'll see. Yeah, Kiki
Kiki,
Betts and
Lauren.
maybe even what is it, Euclid?
You,
Yeah, the other big girl. She good. She be out there. She balling. They front court is huge. Those
they are
girls
here.
ain't
They
playing.
go to some big chicks, respectively.
Yeah. So we'll see. I look forward to the game.
All right, I know. I see Michigan and Arizona is at 8:49, and I see oh, I just showed it at 6 something. Who's playing at 6?
UConn, Illinois.
Yeah, Illinois. Yeah, at 6:03, something like that. So yeah, Saturday should. Well, you be at the conscious event, so on and so forth. So
Well,
you,
yeah. I
you
think
check
the
your phone.
after party is at night. So um I have Country's kickball at 11. I
Mm-hmm.
have a meeting with a mentor at 4, but that's only from 4 to 5. The after party is
Okay.
at night, so I I'll have time to watch UConn for sure.
Oh my goodness, Texas put the spanking on Michigan.
Yeah, they did. It wasn't
77
even
to
close.
41. What were you
Yeah,
doing?
they wasn't doing nothing.
Oh, you're right. UCLA has one loss. They only lost to Texas,
Right.
and they're gonna play them again on Friday.
Yeah. They get that get back.
So they're not even playing UConn right now. So we're gonna see. All right, we gonna see. Oh, they got this chick right here going in for South Carolina. I don't know where she came from. Go ahead, girl. All right now. Maybe South Carolina and UConn. See what happens. All right, y'all.
UConn
Peace
tough.
out. Good night. Oh, 53:41 now. 9:06 left.
Oh yeah,
It
it's finna be a wrap. Well, it's plenty of time. Plenty of time.
is. It is. You're going a little run.
Right.
So momentum down.
And,
Nice
and,
pass
and,
from
and
Whitmer.
one costly key
Mhm.
mistake. But
Right.
hopefully Don Staley,
Switch the whole
Don
momentum,
Staley,
right?
Don Staley does a good job of not only using her time or timeouts,
Mm-hmm.
calming her girls down, making sure they understand they understand what the moment is about,
Mm-hmm.
and they stay in that moment. And so I'd be surprised if Don Staley team loses that type of lead with this amount of time left. But it's March Madness, and anything is
Yeah.
possible.
8:40, 8:42 right now. 53:41. They should be able to take it though. We're gonna see though. You never know. You gonna watch it? You watch the rest of it?
Yeah. I'm gonna tune in.
All right, you guys. Peace out. Have a wonderful week. Stay safe. Enjoy the nice weather. It'll be 75 degrees here tomorrow. Enjoy the sunshine if you're up north. I think.
I mean, it'll be
Peace
hot
out,
down
y'all.
here. That's good. Peace out,
Huh?
y'all.
Wow. You look like